Hello gamers! Hello and welcome to Pirate Times. The times of the sloop and the sail. When Izzy finds you on the main deck, the sailor presses the compass expression utter bafflement. I think the damn thing's broken, Captain. Held and grim stares out at the sea. The shadows of whale fall upon us, peering through us to pierce the depths. Uneasy blinks at Eld and Gran. Bureau points ahead. Reef, Captain. Some ships cross them to save time. We can try it ourselves or we can go around. Uneasy sighs. With our instruments acting like this, I say we sail around the place. Whatever it takes. However long it takes. Luca, what's the condition of our hull? It's in good repair, Captain. I wouldn't sail through a reef myself, but there's good time to try. It's this. Let's not take any chances. Wise decision, Captain. Oh, so I gotta go like all the way around the fucking island. I see. Alright, so last time we found out about the wheel. And that did... Uh-oh. Sailing offers the most welcome reprieve from Motario Cozy until a silhouette of an advancing ship grows clear. The winds against you as the pursuer, a well-equipped Bravontine junk closes the distance handily. The flag of the Royal Deadfire Company waves proudly. Placard on the hull identifies it as the Benevolent Aegis. Loud percussion by the splash of cannonball announces as cannonball fire across your bow. Stand down and prepare for inspection. Commanding voice. Parlay. Distro's close enough. For you to recognize the crew as hard and disciplined coastal and Omoa. One of them separates from the fold and plants his boots on the railing. My name is Pi, and I speak clearly. You won't be leaving Motario Cozy unless we found what we want. The map. Slip the chart into my boot. Leave no barrel unturned. We don't want to go empty-handed. Captain Pi announces his orders, hopes no one knows you harnessing the chart. Crew spends no time picking over the vessel before a sound calls out from one of the vessel. Phone's poking out for brute, Captain. Pi blinks at your direction, smiles. Weapon straight on you, a crewman snatches the chart and presents it to Captain Pi, who unfurls it and frowns at the parchment. Thanks for your diligent work. Serve our cause well. Not so fast. I'm gonna kill you. Draw your weapon. Captain Pi raises an eyebrow with interest before drawing his own. Storm their positions and take no prisoners. He points his sword and signals his soldiers to attack. Hopefully this won't get me killed. Maybe it'll get me another boat. Easy. Weather mage. That's bad. Well, weather mage is gone.
No one noticed that, right? Finish them!
Hey, Captain Pie, you piece of shit. I don't like being robbed. Take all you've got, though. Can I take their boat? What do I do now?
I know exactly what you're thinking.
What's that?
You're asking yourself, how did I let the Royal Deadfire Company plant an informant in my crew?
She chuckles to herself. There's a note of resignation.
My superiors might expect me to report in from time to time, but don't read too much into it. You're not the only big thing happening around here. I'm in this for a lot of information, a little diplomacy, and plenty of target practice.
She opens her palms and shrugs. What if my actions damage the Royal Deadfire Company?
This whole campaign is a risk-benefit analysis. The Navy knows you're a gamble, and they're factoring in all potential losses.
Maya wipes the line of black powder from her cheek.
Rawatai is here to do some good work, since the Huana can't seem to do it themselves. Maybe just try and stay out of our way.
At least you're upfront about spying on me.
Better that you hear it from me than someone else, right?
Surfin snickers. Shody puffs out a heated breath.
The company isn't in the business of reassigning officers outside of the mission unless they've got a damn good reason. And you are a damn good reason. Take the compliment.
I'm seeking Aethys. I want no part in trading company
Then I
drama.
look forward to seeing how long it takes before you find yourself in someone's back pocket. Oh, guess you ought to meet the bird. Ishi is smarter than he looks, but don't expect him to do any tricks.
She nods towards the colorful bird of prey hopping around your ankles.
Ishi, come.
Maya taps her arm with 2 fingers and clicks her tongue again.
That's a good-looking bird.
Adir raises one hand and waggles his finger.
Hey, birdie. Hey, birdie.
Ishiza shows no sign of recognition toward Maya or Elder. Either. She simply claws out the ground and investigates some bugs for a few graceful hops away. Click your tongue like Maya. Cocking his head as Shiza looks at you with a mixture of curiosity and skepticism. Maya thumbs her chin, nodding.
Takes practice before he'll listen to you properly, but that's a good start.
Deer nods to Shiza, who bobs her head. Deer nods twice, and the large bird replies with 2 head bobs. Adir begins tilting his head up and down, and Shiza follows it with vigorous full body bobs. Encouraged, Adir starts bouncing his own body up and down, at which point Ishiza stops bouncing and watches Adir with cockeyed curiosity.
Did your friend suffer a head wound?
Maya frowns at Adir.
Before we get into deeper waters, I've got a question.
Maya clears her throat into her fist.
You've got a ship and a title. Being captain means more than just wearing a big hat. A lot of tough calls to be made.
Oops, I forgot to mute my phone. But I still get the big hat, right?
Well, naturally. That's your right. A crew can be like family. They can also be like a nest of squalling infants. Let's say your galley cook was fixing to organize the rest of the crew into a mutiny. How would you handle it?
Get ahead of the problem and compromise with the crew.
Sort it out as equals. Interesting. Of course, the only right answer is the one that works in a given time and place. I just wanted to hear yours.
Ever stifled a mutiny yourself?
Mostly preemptive measures. We try to pull the weeds before they reach the garden. But enough about me. Glad to be aboard, Captain.
Takes your arm and gives it a good pump. There was a button. Seems like a waste to just go back the same way I came. Also, I'm running low on water. I'm so sleepy. Hello? Hello?
Me and you are about to mix.
This thing isn't doing the job.
There's a walloping. Lava room beyond sick.
Hey? Weird. Yeah, that's just better in like every way. Okay. Wild.
Yeah?
Drifting waking dream, Jody sways on her feet, sweating, muscles quivering. She whimpers and low in her throat. Jostle her out of it. Jody groans, slow to rouse. At first she hunches in on herself, then as the tensions ease from her muscles, she stands straighter, confused, her eyes study her face.
Reckon that's the first time I ever bore witness to my own demise. It was not pretty.
She worries her bottom lip with her teeth.
Never woke with such a driving need for reaping before. It's making my hands shake.
Didn't the cleansing work?
It did for a while, but then it wore off. All this essence I've gathered. It soaked the blessing right up. Left me with hardly none.
You would have if you killed someone close to us. You're losing your light to the darkness. Rekindle it by helping the living. She sucks in a deep breath.
You sound like my high priestess Samhain. She never shuts up about the living, when she ought to worry more about the dead. Seems the more souls I gather, the better I see Gaun's will. And the less I get a wink of sleep.
Nightmares are getting worse?
Night or day, sleep or waking. It's getting harder to tell what's real from what's just yet to come. There is something I'm meant to do, though, once I gather enough souls. Us Gaunites, we're supposed to shepherd lost souls, not just gather them. The harvesting's only the first part. If I were to dump the souls, it might make me dream less, like before. Or, darn it, who knows? Maybe it'd just make it all worse. Either way, I've got to find my purpose.
She turns her face away, bottom lip trembling. Slowly her fingers reach the hem of your shirt. She rubs the pads of her fingers over it, holding to you with the lightest of touches.
Will you help me, Watcher?
Yes.
I was hoping you might would. Sometimes I feel like, with you by my side, I can stand against gods.
Find an adder pillar and release your burden. It's the best way to ensure the souls reach the beyond.
It'll need to be a potent source to overpower the draw of my lantern. It's gotta be luminous, for sure.
She nods, devising a plan of action.
That's one problem solved. But what about the itty-bitty issue regarding the god of rebirth not actually being in hell?
Yeah, it's an issue.
The souls will make it safely, but who's to see to their proper reseeding? This is a huge risk of Aora's balance. You really trust Malgrin not to rebirth Aethasians as warriors of the flame? Think Galawain won't be greedy? Gone aside, the god's past actions don't instill me with the greatest confidence.
What else would you propose?
Normally, I'd simply safekeep him until the god of rebirth could return to hell. But
What if we give the souls to animancers? They've made gains, producing the cycle of rebirth.
put my flock into the hands of experimenters? How can we trust they'd be successful? Or hell, even to be well-meaning in their intent? Just the thought's making my shoulders twitch. You're sure about this?
You harvest souls, the animancers replant them. It's a new cycle, one that'll work.
You're right. What if there's no one left to release the souls from the lantern after the darkness has come and Aora's recovered? The gods will survive, but Kithkind may not.
She sighs, rubbing tiredly at the spots between her
Guess that
eyes.
settles it then. Find me an animancer, and we'll try it.
She nods once before turning away. I'm leaning more towards the Luminous Audra thing, actually, Shodi. I don't trust the animancers that much. They do some good work, but I don't trust them with that much power. Supply. Excellent. You see a billowing cloud of smoke behind the house ahead of you. The higher reaches of Nakataka, slanting shanties and buildings of foreign design fall away to be replaced by colorful open rooms with wooden doors boasting intricate reliefs. Rather than press you for a bit of coin and food, the children here rather try and sell you trinkets or play to extol the benefits of public baths. You turn a corner and plunge into commotion. One of the great rooms crackles before you, completely ablaze. Most of the Huana stare, enraptured by flames. A few cry out and run for the fire brigade. Examine the house. Home seems no different than the others, though perhaps a bit larger than average. Bright blue paint flecked with white accents peels over sturdy stone, where it hasn't already been blackened by the fires. The large front doors are open, coughing smoke into the street. You think you can make out shadowy movements within. Fresh torches lie on the eaves above. Seems to be the work of the arsonist. Freeze ability. Put the torches out with frost magic. Aloth chants, and you feel the balmy tropical air plunge into coolness. Powerful blast of cold extinguishes the torches, leaving a slick coat of rime on the eaves around them. The flames have already spread up into the depths of the home. Enter the house. Plunge through the open doors and raise your arms protectively over your mouth. A smoke surrounds you, and the heat plucks at your skin, curling your hair. I don't have hair. You see the bodies. Sprawled out in the main room are 3 corpses. 2 lie on the floor, wounds from small thin blades oozing blood. The third is draped over a long chair, body punctuated with crossbow bolts. Investigate for clues. Faint trail of bloody footprints mark a path back toward the back of the house. Search for the presence of spirits. You open your watcher senses, seeking the presence of spirits. You feel pain buffeting you. The stabbing agony of blades biting into your skin. The heavy strikes of crossbow bolts. You hear the footsteps. The gullet bastard who killed you. Fling through the back door. The essence of the spirits roil dangerously, fed by the physical flames and feeding them to return. Vision fades. Pursue the arsonist out back. First through the back door into the almost abandoned street. Group of ragged kith holding torches are the only people present. You notice one of them holds a bulging sack stained with blood. One of the kith, a broad-shouldered human, tight-fitting mask, scowls. Got ourselves a hero, it seems. Sadly for you, the boss was clear about leaving no witnesses. Grinning, the thugs draw their weapons, spreading around you. This is for the people in the house. Attack.
Hardly more than half handy, are?
Get fucking exploded.
There's a walloping.
Come on. I'll loot these bodies. Find club. A lot of corpses. Okay. Is that all? Can't help with the house anymore, I guess. Good luck. Bye. Cold water. It's good shit. Princey.
Do not leave me in suspense, I say. Have you found Matario Cozy?
A riddle on the island pointing the way to Kaizo. Prince accepts the chart in silence, holding it up to the light and poring over every detail with interest. His hands tremble as he holds the paper.
An unusual accounting of the isles, I say. Each one measured in relation to...
How interesting how the Huana treated Ukazo like the center of the world.
Akira, I've seen nothing that challenges this notion of theirs. Ngati is one to throw obstacles in our path, but I say that an outdated chart is better than none at all.
Grinning all the while, Arui rolls up the parchment and tosses you a heavy pouch of coins. Thank you, my prince.
When we know enough, my sister will finance a fleet-wide search. Not for breadcrumbs, but lost Ukaizo. Watcher, I take it that none of my people escaped the clutches of that island.
He hangs his head as the truth becomes apparent.
I sent good women and men to die in the name of the tribes and in the vague hope. May Ngati thank them for their courage and Wodaka for their loyalty. May they return to us as Rangas.
I had some trouble with the Royal Deadfire Company on open seas.
Akira, they would not let you escape with what they could so easily steal.
He murmurs under his breath.
But will they not find the original chart as unprotected as a Reparo food pile?
Assuming they survive the jungle, probably.
I expected better judgment from an agent of the crown.
Folds his arm and presses the bridge of his nose.
Even with the help of the gods, our task was unlikely before these complications, I say.
Mark cloth was a message from the Wahiki to deter any visitors.
For what do they protect Matario Cozy, when its knowledge could help all Huana? One day I will have words with their Ranga to settle our differences.
Nothing more to report.
This is much to learn in a day, even for this warrior.
He touches his brow and
I
considers.
sent the expedition to their fate, and those who followed. Death is on my conscience this day.
They served you admirably. We're one step closer to Ukaizo.
Akira, just so. May all who fell on Matario Cozy slip through the eel's jaws. Huana and outsider alike. But on to brighter times, I say. If Ukaizo can be found, then so too will the hopes of our people be made manifest.
His mask of grief breaks under the pull of a broad smile.
The Queen and I make plans for the future. If you continue to make yourself useful, I say there is a place for you in them. She will call on you when the time is right. Akira?
I'll await word.
May the wind caress your sail.
He pats your shoulder and nods, smiling. Okay. Don't care about that one. Okay. Here. Where do I want to go? Let's head there. That's something to do. Not that we're lacking of things to do, we just have too much to do. The world is open. Anything could happen.
Welcome to Sayuka. You are welcome in Sayuka, traveler, as surely as the winds stir the sea.
The young Koala woman gives you a sunny smile that shows every one of her pointed teeth.
No. How many times must I demonstrate the proper way to greet a visitor?
The undersecretary makes emphatic chopping motions with his hands, snarl curling his thin lips.
I say, I must have forgotten again. Will you remind me of the line, Undersecretary?
We say clear skies, traveler. Simple, elegant, and no smiling. Do you understand, Greeter Tebe?
Can you repeat it once more? I want to make sure I've got it.
Tebe turns wide, innocent eyes on the Undersecretary. The Undersecretary opens his mouth to speak, but his expression is abruptly clouds. He shoots a scowl at Tebe and elects not to dignify her joke at his expense.
Questions, traveler?
What can you tell me about Sayuka?
Sayuka, known to my people as Ribiri, is a colonial outpost of the Royal Deadfire Company.
Tebe makes no effort to hide the boredom in her voice.
The island of Sayuka is the Royal Deadfire Company's center of engineering research and development in the archipelago. Our work is directed by Fleet Master Okaya, the youngest Rawatayan ever to hold the title. Best of her class at the Naval Academy in Tokoa, and a brilliant engineer, our Fleet Master.
Pride warms his voice.
You forgot to mention the giant sharks, Undersecretary.
Why are you dressed like Royal Deadfire Company, Soldier Tebe?
Hikira, I wonder the same every day.
She tucks at the neck of her uniform and rolls her eyes at the Undersecretary when she thinks he's not looking.
Tebe learns to perform her duties as a Rawatayan might.
The Undersecretary straightens his back and squares his
Her
shoulders.
fellow Juana show a lamentable disinterest in the proper way of doing things.
He nods currently in Tebe's direction.
Do not speak about me as if I am not here.
Wait, giant sharks?
Giant sharks, giant coral, giant trees, Hikira. The only thing not bigger in Sayuka is us Juana.
She chuckles.
Small mercy.
The Undersecretary mutters under his breath.
No one knows why things grow large in Sayuka, but there are all sorts of theories. Me? I think Gallowayne smiles on us.
Tebe's cheeks grow with a faint blush. The first authentic emotion you've seen cross her face.
Superstition is unbecoming of a Royal Deadfire Company officer, Tebe.
I say, it's a lucky thing I'm not one then.
What is an Undersecretary exactly?
A career sandal sniffer and busybody, so far as I can tell.
Tebe shrugs.
You ungrateful sag! I am the second in command to Fleet Master Okaya, the governor of your piddling little island, and I will not be mocked by a smart-mouthed idler like you!
The Undersecretary's jowls quiver in barely contained rage.
So I have heard many, many times.
Is it just me or is this guy terrible?
You don't know the half of it.
An impish smile plays at the corner of her mouth.
What was that, Greeter Tebe?
Surely just the breeze, Undersecretary.
Her impish smile grows into a mocking grin.
You will call me Sir.
Akira, I certainly will not.
Farewell. As you approach, the fish vendor flashes you a broad cheesy grin. He beckons you over with a wave of his hand and directs your attention to the latest delivery. What do you have for sale?
All the wonders of the sea, and more besides.
He directs you to a display selling the day's catch. No, thank you. A young woman leans against the till, her eyes half closed. She jerks awake when she hears a scruff of your boots on the flagstones and fumbles around for something to polish in an effort to look busy.
What can I do for you?
She surreptitiously wipes a bit of drool from the corner of her mouth. What do you have in stock?
Put your eyes on these.
She waves across the merchandise with a theatrical flair. Sorry if you can hear, I'm eating Sour Patch Kids. They're too tempting. It's Red Tear. Some good shit. There we go. That should be a bit better. Okay. Workshop, huh?
Hasanui demanded additional cannons. We must oblige her.
We cannot spare the weight. Already the ballast is overtaxed.
Increase the size of the ballast then.
And store it where? Then we must increase the size of the ship.
Take your concerns to the Valian. This mess is her responsibility now.
Yeah, take it to the Valian.
Stay out of the way.
Oh. I was expecting there to be someone to talk to here or something. But I guess not.
We're under
Hello?
attack! Hold them off while I tell the others!
On it.
Hurry! They're just outside the gate!
All right. Which one of us am I thinking of now?
You be thinking of the war.
A bear?
Me too.
I was not expecting a bear. When they said under attack, I assumed like under attack with like guys. I guess a bog druid counts.
That was about as useful as a bump on a pickle.
Pass me tomb.
Come on, attack it. Oh, did the fish guy die? Dude, does that regularly happen? Do you not have like a door? Keep the fucking animals out?
In trouble, I hope.
Oh no. I dropped a Sour Patch Kid. Where did it go? Oh, oops. Apparently I forgot to log out of Steam, friends.
I'm told you were instrumental in our stand against the Druids. Well done.
Thanks.
The Druids have harried us from the moment we made landfall.
What's their problem with you?
I suspect they're none too keen on our logging efforts.
Yeah, I bet.
Several days ago, I dispatched a small force to quell them, but I've heard nothing of them since. To be frank, I suspect they were killed.
Yeah, probably.
And I no longer have enough people to repel another attack. We Rowattians are tougher than most, but we're engineers all the same. We weren't trained to fight. Given your impressive showing in our hour of need, I'd hoped I might impose on you with a request for aid.
Go on.
Go to the bog where I sent my people. You'll find the Druids' leaders there, no doubt. Kill them. Should you do so, the Royal Deadfire Company would stand in your debt, and I would be immensely grateful.
Can I
No
ask
doubt
you?
the Druids plot their next attack even as we speak.
Who are you?
Did you not read the name on the door before you came in? You do know you're in the office of the Fleet Master, I hope.
I meant who are you in the general sense?
Ah, you meant to ask why I'm important enough to have my name on a door. I'm a Fleet Master of the Rowattian Navy stationed at Sayuka, a research colony of the Royal Deadfire Company.
Impressive title.
To one unfamiliar with the Rowattian Navy, perhaps. But mine is an administrative position. I see to the smooth running of Sayuka. Of course, it'd be a sight easier if there weren't the coral to contend with.
The coral. What are you researching?
Andra's mortar. Storms that strong, that consistent. I suspect they're not natural.
What fleet? I don't see any boats.
You misunderstand. I don't command ships. I command this port. Rowattian vessels docking here are under my protection, but I don't tell them where to go. That's the Hazanui's job.
I see. Okaya nods and looks briefly at her desk, distracted by a table of figures. As she reads, she twirls a pencil between her fingers, stopping briefly to take a few notes. She appears to have completely forgotten you.
You found me with a rare spare moment.
Farewell. Hello? Found a man dressed in worn, dirty leather armor. His long, scraggly beard is encrusted with salt. His curling hair has clearly not seen a comb in some time, and his toenails and bare feet are cracked and torn. The only thing of value he carries is an amulet.
Oh, greetings.
He hesitates a moment before saying more.
Might I help you with something?
Tell me about yourself.
Suppose.
He looks at you quizzically, perhaps unsure of why you'd asked him such a personal question.
I was a proud man once. A gold pack knight. Then I took a job and it went poorly. I could no longer stay with the Order after that.
His eyes take on a faraway look as he remembers.
In the years since, I have wandered the length of the Deadfire, dedicating my life to self-discipline and abstination from worldly distractions. It is only through suffering that the soul becomes strong. Do you understand?
I see.
I should hope that you do, young woman.
Could you teach me about what you've learned in your years wandering Deadfire?
You would ask an old man to share his wisdom? Well, I suppose I could. For 3,000 copper.
Enhance insight and intimidate. Here you are.
Thank you, traveler.
He tells you about making and keeping a bargain in his years as a coldback knight. Showing you how to tell when a merchant knows his wares are of poor quality or overpriced. When he's satisfied you won't get fleeced by the next back alley charm dealer you come across, he sends you on your way. Cool. Stats increased.
Oi, Cap. There he be. There be Romero. Sure is my arse be blue.
Seraphin runs to greet an old white-robed man.
I wish you'd not come, my lad. Pleased though I be to see you. Even Aldi's anarchists spare no mercy for mutineers.
Seraphin breaks away and peers up at Romero.
Aye, but you, a traitor? The very thought of it be ludicrous.
He spreads his open palms wide to either side.
Return with us. I'll be protecting you, and we'll be seeing of your fair judging.
With a slow shake of his head, Romero swallows.
I can't, Blue. Much as I loathe to leave. I'm dead to these waters, and they to me.
Seraphin gapes and spurs before finding his response.
Break my biscuits and call me Swabby. You've gone addled in your dotage, ain't you?
The Orlan looks at you, lower lip twitching.
Captain, can you talk some sense into this crusty old salt?
Why'd you leave Fort Deadlight? You might have been safe there.
I couldn't bear to remain, sheltered or no. It's a hopeless feeling, bearing witness to the slow decline of something I once held such pride in. There still be pride to be had. Honor, too. Things be changing sure as shit, but you can't thread them narrows if you ain't even it to wheel. I hope I'm wrong, if only for your sake. I don't think the Principe can survive as is, and I can't watch something I devoted my life to sink into ruin.
Why would you leave the Principe?
The Principe have changed, and not for the better. Once, we aligned behind a common purpose. Now, we fractured into two extremes, each wallowing in its own corruption.
You're fleeing your problems.
Ach, these roomy eyes have seen too much. Nepotism and cronyism run rampant, rotting the Principe from inside out. Power consolidates behind the least deserving. The Consuelo's leadership founders, and with it, my faith.
Belay that plan of you, old sea dog. You're no good as any. There ain't no faith on these waters, save that you be finding for yourself.
He flashes a crooked smile and strikes a closed fist against his chest.
Betwixt your brains and my swagger, we'll be right in the good ship Principe San Petrina forthwith, and be shot of these ship squiffy doldrums.
I understand maybe half of what he's saying. Mara frowns deeply as he looks away from Seraphim towards the sea.
A fine dream. I pray to Ondra that you achieve it. For me, though, the current flows but one way. A return to the Principe would mean my death.
Is it true what you're accused of?
I've not heard every charge against me. But that of mutiny, of that charge, I bear guilt.
Seraphim's ears droop. He reaches for Romero, but stops short, letting his hands fall.
Why? The sorcerer were our home and kin. We're our cock-swelling pride. And you bartered it to an half-drowned old elf for a pint-bilged fucking clipper?
Staring intently at the ground at Romero's feet, Seraphim shakes, his fist balled at his side. Thoughtfully, Shodi rubs a knuckle at the edge of her jaw.
14 years I spent swabbing them decks. Longer yet for you. Captain Bastion trusted you. I trusted you.
His glare rises to meet Romero's eyes.
Ak. Bon amico.
Romero's mouth opens briefly before closing again, and he swallows.
Sientere, Seraphim. I've disappointed you. Hurt you. No words can justify my actions. I only hope you believe me, that I did what needed doing.
How can I?
With a tired shrug, Seraphim looks away. You're hiding something.
Ak. That I am. Many things. For many reasons. I learned long ago that it's oft-times better to hold your tongue.
The Watcher here reminded me that you and me, we be deeper than two hands on a deck. We be kin. You be the closest thing I've ever had to a father. And if you be setting sail, I'll be embarking with you.
Hill flashes a quick, pleased glance.
Your journeys with this Watcher have changed you, Blue. You wear it well, bon amigo.
He sighs and shakes his head sadly.
Captain Bastion had the sorcerer slaving.
Romero frowns at his dark, wrinkled hands and rubs his palms together. Seraphim blanks, expression blank. His mouth opens, closes, opens again. His fur bristles, ears angling lower.
Slaving? What kind of fathom-headed hornswoggle be this? The sorcerer were my kin. They weren't slaving. I hunted slavers for the captain. We freed slaves together.
So I also believed. But Bastion sold those we saved to the Crooksburg slavers. I found records of it in his quarters, almost a decade's worth. When I confronted him, it went poorly.
Rage rushes through your blood, flushing your skin, and cold hate spirals along the length of your spine as confusion blurs your vision. Sand beneath your feet, crusted and blooded, you young and small and filthy and shaky in fright. Cheers from all corners. Jeers, too, and shouts of the kith before you. Omoa and thrice your height, heavy muscle and soft fat wrapped in bright robes. Don't make me go again, you plead. Don't make me. His heavy hand sends you sprawling in the sand to a chorus of jubilant applause. You bounce to your feet as another slave boy approaches. You feel his thoughts, a tickle in the back of your mind, his fear greater than your own, but what can you do? Only one may live. You silence everything but the anger, but the hate, and it propels your snapping teeth and grasping hands, and blows light but fast, and the other youth all screams.
Sientere, bon amico. Forgive me.
Romaro stands a bit unsteadily.
I meant you not to know. To keep your faith in our traditions, to remain optimistic, a bright star within the Principe.
You okay, Seraphin? Seraphin snorts and shakes his head. Moisture mats the fur beneath his eyes. Seraphin, you've heard Romero's confession. What would you do with him?
Cut him loose, Cap. Aye, he did the Deadfire a fine turn by sinking them slavers. But among the Consuelo, mutiny means death. Better go on for a no.
We'll leave you be, Romero.
Agrasima, Watcher. The Clipper will be loaded soon, and then we'll be away. Cores, Seraphin. Bon amico. Take this. May you have rare cause to use it.
He provides a Seraphin with a tightly wrapped package. Fire in the hole. New blunderbuss.
I hope we meet again someday. On calmer seas.
Cores, bon amico.
Seraphin turns away. So that's that. An eyebrow of the blue of open sea rises over an iris of warm green in the shallow surf.
You be boring a hole in me with them eyes, Cap. I'd offer an oboe for your thoughts, but I prefer not to make deals I ain't got no intention to keep.
Oh, I could say the same of you. You doing okay?
I'd be fine, actually. Strange though it be.
If you want to talk, I'll listen.
Not sure there'd be much to say, Captain.
You found out you were inadvertently aiding the trade of slaves. That couldn't have felt good.
Oh, Cap, didn't feel at all good. What brilliant you are.
He winces.
Sorry about that. Weren't fair to you.
He scuffs a boot against the ground. Oh my god, that's so many options. Mao did the right thing, you know. Those slaver bastards deserve what they got.
That and more beside. I'm sure Romero made it quick and painless. The soft old sort.
He smiles.
And despite it all, Cap, I'll be right glad to be serving with you.
He bows and turns away. Good chat. Okay, so it's that. Guess let's go to the bog and deal with some druids who are rightfully mad at colonizers. I don't feel great about that.
Protect the bog.
Fair.
Aye.
Spot on.
That's not very helpful.
Take that, Vine.
I shall make it.
Steel bear. Steal a bear. Steal a bear. Damn, that's actually really fucking good. One perception's good, but 8 fortitude is really fucking good. Log barbarian, huh? How do I become a bog barbarian? I'm full of enough rage, I think. I love me a bog. Big flower, die. Go where all flowers go. To hell. All flowers go to hell for their innumerable sins. Sorry, that's just how it goes.
As you like.
find 4 godlike druids waiting for you in the clearing. The death and the moon godlike whisper to one another, their gaze is occasionally falling on you. The nature godlike sways slightly on her feet, her eyes half closed. The fire godlike balls his fists at his side and grits his teeth.
Your every step fouls the ground. Why do you pollute this sacred place?
I've come to end your conflict with the Royal Deadfire Company.
The Rawatayan invaders trespassed upon our sacred ground and ignored our overtures. The fault for this conflict lies not with us.
Yeah. Flame Summer's hair burns brightly. The autumn gently calms her fiery counterpart.
Why should we believe you are any different?
Autumn's question is a genuine one. She is intent to hear you out. Royal Deadfire Company will raise this forest to the ground.
An end comes to all things in time, and we do not fear the Rawatayan invaders, nor you.
Well, I tried. Okay. Problem solved.
No doubt the druids plot their next attack even as we speak.
The druids are dead.
Excellent. You are as dependable as I've been told to expect. Now we can begin logging in earnest. Regarding your reward, we seized a cache of weapons from a gang of pirates we caught sniffing about Sayuka. Of course, we only use regulation weaponry here, so I'd appreciate it if you'd take these off my hands before one of my engineers does something foolish with them.
Okay.
You found me with a rare spare moment.
That pistol any good? Oh, it's a blunderbuss. It's like 4 to 8 damage versus 20 to... What? Okay. So check that off the list of things. We can leave this place for good. Knowing that we left it worse than we came here. Okay. We barely cleared Suiko harbor when a sleek half galley appears off your port bow. Rides high and the water is fast, but keeps distance as it approaches land. Seraphin watches the ship's passage from the bulwark, an expression grim. When the ship turns to pursue you, you recognize it as Malnage's vessel, Misery's Delight. Its cannons don't seem primed, and it aimed to run alongside rather than set up a broadside run. Looks like the High Queen Sea Devil be wanting a word, Cap. Not sure if it'd be good or ill, but at least it means she ain't on Sayuka. Seraphin's ears angles slightly back, and he manages. God! He massages the bridge of his nose. As the Misery's Delight comes alongside, Malnage stands on the railing, one gray-furred hand wrapped tight around a thick hemp line. She bows low, doffing her hat, and then tosses it to one of her deckhands. Okay.
Funny seeing you here, Captain. Especially since we've tracked Romaro to this very rock. Ain't trying to steal the bounty, are you?
Malnage cants her gray-furred head at you, hands on her hips, near her weapons. Mo's gone. Let it go.
Funny. I'd have thought a watcher would have had better instincts than siding with a known traitor.
She shakes her head in an approximation of sadness, but doesn't bother hiding her grin.
Fuck it. We'll deal with you first, then go have a little chatsy with Romaro. No quarter, lads and lasses.
Weapons slide free of holsters and sheaths as Malnage's crew attacks. One sec. What do I gotta do with this? Kill a bunch of people? Shit. Is that one of my guys?
What for, Cap?
I hope I didn't lose anyone. Did I lose someone? Oh, you can go back to being cook. Okay, looks like I didn't lose anyone. That's good, that's good, that's good. I recognize that song. It's Holloway Joe. I wish I knew the lyrics. I'd sing along. Reach the outer lighthouse.
I don't get this at all. There was a Dawnstar settlement on Isongo.
Deer kicks a few splinters of shattered wood strewn across the path.
The place got trampled just the same.
It doesn't seem to matter who he hurts. He does as he pleases.
This is Widwen all over again. Only now we know it really is Aethys behind it. I'll tell you one thing. When we catch up to that unstoppable god statue, me and him are gonna have words. Lava better be alright.
Oh, was this where... Is this where your girlfriend was?
Well, at least he's easy to follow. Headed right for the...
What?
Mo, Ixie, Anna.
Wait.
An Omoa woman whirls towards you. Her eyes wide and wild. Her uniform is disheveled as if from several days' wear, and her breath comes in rapid gasps. With her are a few wounded soldiers and a huddle of commoners in dirt-stained farmers' smocks.
Shut the door, quick, before the Naga get in.
It's already closed, but her glazed eyes seem to be staring beyond it. The soldiers look up too, their faces drawn with pain and exhaustion, their eyes rimmed with red and gray. Meanwhile, the farmers cast nervous glances in your direction, drawing more tightly together. It's alright, I'm here to help.
We're the finest soldiers and cannoneers in Aora. We don't need anything.
Her hand starts to tremble at her side. Something unusual about her brittle confidence, distant stare and shaking hand. You can read the signs. Whatever she saw here has rattled her to the core.
Folks that saw Widwen on the field of battle, ones that lived, used to get rounded up looking like this. Some got reassigned, but most they sent home.
She blinks at you as if seeing you for the first time.
Wait, you're not the reinforcements. There are supposed to be reinforcements.
Calm down and tell me what happened here. She closes her eyes and her hands are still shaking.
The first thing was the Colossus. It showed up a few days ago, a week ago, I can't be sure. But it was huge. Glowed like luminous Audra.
Her eyes start to glaze over again. She stares into the distance, her mouth slightly open. That was Aethys.
That monster that killed our people?
Yes.
I suppose he does look like a monster from down here.
I told you, Zahira. The Godhammer scrambled their god, and now he's taking his revenge.
The soldier looks pointedly at the huddled farmers. They look away, cheeks flushed and brows perspiring.
Our gods are above petty motivations like revenge. Now, Gon's got a bigger plan for you and me.
We're aware of his atrocities.
It's no coincidence your Aethys shows up just as Latharn storms out.
He casts a poisonous glare at the farmers. But Tui is stuck in her memories.
The Colossus was coming right for us. Fleetmaster Co. ordered the gunhawks and cannoneers to take up positions. They fought. The rest of us were sent below, like cowards.
She looks down at her hands, which have been balled into trembling fists. There's nothing you could do.
We're trenchers, sons and daughters of Rauatai. We can handle anything.
She glowers, clenching and unclenching her fists, working herself into a bold or foolish bravery once more.
I heard cannon blasts, artillery fire, felt the world shake. Then the water started coming in. We came back up, and the others were... I don't know. Like they'd been turned to ash. And the Colossus was walking away. The fort was flooding, where it had broken our walls, and the luminous Audra in the lighthouse had gone dark.
Where's this lighthouse?
On the western side of the fort. It's a true marvel, a monument to Rauataian engineering.
Proof we can tame and transform this place, once we get rid of the scale bellies.
Scale bellies? Her hand starts to tremble again. She tries to cover it with the other.
They skulked in after, once our walls were down.
He scowls.
Those of us who were left fought, but those cowards moved through the sunken hallways, ambushed us from below.
And those of you who survived ended up here. Both Zuhira and the angry soldiers look away in shame.
Those snakes are little more than animals. No match for trained Rauataian warriors.
He snorts.
When the Hazanui's reinforcements get here, we'll strike back.
He trails off, his gaze distant at the scenarios of bloody vengeance, no doubt playing in his mind.
And build our walls back up so nothing gets through. And double our cannons, so we can destroy that Colossus if it ever comes back.
This is a fortress. Surely you've got some way of fighting the Naga. She bristles.
The finest cannons and bombards in the archipelago. Why, you can barely walk the ramparts without...
She remembers the destruction outside. Her indignation fades away, and a distant look returns to her eyes.
There's still one. There must be one. They can't all have been destroyed. But you'll need a trained artillerist to aim it.
She nods, pulling herself back from the brink of panic. Who's Latharn, and what do you have against these farmers?
Dawn stars.
He coughs a wad of bloody phlegm onto the floor.
Fleetmaster Co. hired them to tend the fields that supply the mainland, but they started acting strange, dreaming strange.
You mean dreaming of things to come?
One of them, Latharn, had a row with the Fleetmaster over it. Left angry just before the Colossus showed up.
They're stuck here too, and they're obviously scared. Be kinder to them. Sahura seems to consider your words, but the wounded soldier shakes his head. Adir points affably in approval.
I think their praying called it here, getting back at us for the Godhammer. Even if not, they definitely know something.
He practically spits at the farmers.
Spitting at our god? You ought to fear for the future of your soul.
Adir seems pleased.
Is there anything else?
Farewell.
Don't go back out there. You'll be safe here until reinforcements arrive.
Her throat makes dry clicking sounds as she swallows.
Just stay away from the water. Damn scale bellies are hiding down there. They'll ambush if you get close.
Sometimes you can see them, if you look carefully.
She stares off again, gazing at nothing. Level up! Sleight of hand. If that had been better, I might have been able to hide the map. And inside. Ogre. 2 ogre. Ooh, revive allies. And our lizards. Header lizards. I regret multi-classing. I should have just gone straight Chanter. Cypher's fun, but eh.
If you told me a few years ago that I'd end up following you on another crazy errand, I'd have said you were out of your mind.
He gives you a dismissive gesture with his pipe hand.
Not because I got anything against you, more that trouble seems to come looking for you wherever you go. Yet, here we are again, probably on our way to die. Well, you already did, but me, I mean.
Cocks his head to one side and smiles. You didn't have anything better to do.
Yeah, I was getting sick of sleeping indoors and not having any broken bones. It's true. And wouldn't you know it, this time is shaping up to be crazier than the last one.
There's something accusatory behind Adia's eyes.
But I gotta say, I appreciate how you've handled things. Times like these, staying decent's not as easy as it sounds. Thought you were weird at first, of course, but you've surprised me.
There's no point to any of this if I have to sacrifice my beliefs.
There's something to that. I like to think I'm the same way. Except I chose to believe in the goodness of a giant statue that kills everything it passes.
He scrapes his teeth over his lower lip.
Sometimes I have second thoughts about that. I've been meaning to ask, though. How is it you never seem to lose your way through all this? What is it tells you you're on the right path?
I believe in helping people who need it. Sometimes it's more complicated, but often it's not.
Well, hard to argue with that. And I might get some strange looks if it did.
Adir heaves a sigh that sounds as if it's been building up for months. His smile is tight-lipped, wistful.
When I was a boy, things were simpler. Aethys was more like a character we read about in church.
Easier to worship a god when their worst traits are swept under the rug.
Yeah, I guess it was. Well, most stories had him helping folks or making the world work as it should.
He smiles. He adopts the smile and gently pointed fingers of a coaxing parent.
You pray to him. He might help you, too.
He lets the finger drop with a faded smile.
There was no cost to it. No confusion about his will or followers taken into extremes. Following Aethys was right. Had no reason to question.
He pauses. It could be the light, but the creases around his eyes and mouth seem longer and deeper than your memory of them.
Do you think there's any way that following him could still be the right path? After all we've seen?
It's possible if the cause is just.
This better be some cause for all the damage he's done. Anyway, I didn't mean for this to get depressing. I think this was just a long way of saying I appreciate the way you've guided things. Makes me feel like I'm doing some good going with you.
He shakes his head and looks. He shakes his head with a look on his face like he just remembered a joke.
Watcher. I was wondering if I could run something by you.
What's up? What's on your mind?
Well, to put it simply, you are.
She swallows thickly.
I've tried, but I can't get you out of my thoughts and dreams.
What does that mean?
Forgive my audacity. I know I've got no place to, but I care for you. More than I can rightly say.
Fingers trembling, she wipes her damp palms on her tunic.
I was wondering if you might return the sentiment.
Thought you were interested in a deer.
I thought I was too at first, but somewhere along the way, well, I realized he wasn't the one making my heart stutter. I don't look up to him like I do you.
She wets her lips.
And he sure doesn't make me sweat like you do.
I've always been here for you, Shodi.
You have. I know you have. It's just that... The truth is, I was afraid to want you. I didn't think the Watcher herself could be interested in me. When you think about it, how powerful you are compared to me, it doesn't hardly make any sense, does it?
I mean, we're at the same level.
I'm almost afraid to believe it. That you would want me just as much and fierce.
Shodi ducks her head, but fails to hide the blush and the smile that spread across her face.
But darned if it doesn't make me so very, very happy.
So what happens now?
If you're sure you'll have me, I'll do my best to stand tall by your side. You'll see, I'll make you proud yet. You and my God.
Slowly, carefully, she laces her fingers with yours, and she stares deep into your eyes. As she stares deep into your eyes, her pupils expand, swallowing up the browns of her irises.
But you best know it now. I'm not a woman to share.
She rocks forward and touches her lips to yours. Gently, she nuzzles gently once or twice, back and forth, before opening to you on an exhale. Her eyes sliding closed as she deepens the kiss.
Sakes alive.
She pants softly after, eyes opening in a wash of awe. I didn't mean to do that. I didn't mean to do that, but I guess I'm dating Shodi now. Why don't we continue this discussion somewhere more private?
Watcher, I thought you might never ask.
A throaty, eager laugh escapes her as she tugs you forward by the hand.
There's so much I've longed to try and to see. Or to not see. Let me turn my lantern low. I want nothing but shadows between us.
Languidly, Shodi runs her hand through her mussed hair. She watches you hungrily, though she should be well sated.
That was divine. Surely, Watcher, you are a blessing from gone.
Okay. Again, didn't mean to romance Shodi. Didn't know that was an option. Oh well. Fucking Arcana and History. Big fucking nerd. Sure. Aloth, you got something you want to say? You want to confess love to me? Or say that your religion is something? I don't know. Okay.
I never did like snakes.
Damn. That's a bunch of them. Damn. That's a couple of them.
Wait. Me too.
It's beyond me. Oh.
Thought those were explosive barrels, not just barrels. Also, how the fuck did you get up there, dear? Did you just dash straight up the fucking cliff? Come on, buddy. Brass bombard. It's perched atop the wall, pointed out to sea. From here you can see a commanding view of the flooded fortress. Bombard. You try, but it's stuck. Looking down, you notice the gears attached to the rotating platform are rusted. Push into position. Big strong go. Seraphin pushes. Despite the rusted platform streak, Seraphin manages to push the bombard toward the Naga. The bombard continues its lonely vigil. Check for ammunition. It's not loaded. You don't see any ammunition nearby. Perhaps one of the survivors could help you.
Sure.
The entire section of the wall has been smashed, leaving a chasm of jagged rubble below. Broken planks and battlements jut from the opposite side of the break. Grappling hook. A deer hurls the grappling hook on the broken wall. Catches securely on the parapet. Across the rope. Shimmy the other side of the wall. Stairs descend to a flooded hallway. The water is clear and the passage seems to continue for quite a ways. Swimming passage. Passage begins to grow dim and the water cloudy. You reach an intersection where the walls are spiderweb with cracks. The hall continues to the dark. The hall continues to the left and to the right. The way to the left is dark. There's a faint glow on your right, but still, dark shapes obstruct the passage. Go right. Pull yourself past the debris, past the corner of the labyrinth of carnage. Debris from half-collapsed walls and shattered barricades clogs the tunnel. Corpses weighed down by armor and bloated with decay bob and hover in the open spaces. Kick off the rubble and propel yourself forward. Even so, the way forward is more taxing than you initially thought. Swim forward. Partial success. Press on. By the time you have a chance to regret your decision, you're too far ahead to turn back. Your vision begins to darken. You pull and kick your way forward, ignoring the burning limbs and focusing everything on the rapid fading light. Just when you think you can hold your breath no longer, you see light in the back and break the surface, your abused body trembling. Fatigue. That tracks. I am very sleepy. Cold, stiff hand protrudes from the rubble.
What have we here?
Wait. Feel that me too. Proacten.
Perfect.
Kablam shablam. Oh. Okay.
Is there anything else?
Where can I find ammunition for the bombard?
Ammunition? We keep lots of ammunition. Get new shipments all the time from Rawatai.
She nods brightly, clinging to this hopeful thought.
Not for the bombard. Fleetmaster Ko fired it all at the Colossus. All that's left are cannonballs, and they're too small.
She sags despondently, despondency creeping up on him like a chill.
Maybe Imuro had some in his workshop. He was making these new explosive shells.
The injured soldier shoots her with a look and breaks off.
Of course he were. Don't build a gun bigger than Galloway's feckin' spear unless you be intending to use it.
Anyway, you should check, just in case. Imuro's workshop was by the northern gate.
She reaches in her pocket. She hands you a key. It's slick with her sweat. Okay. this rate, I'm just gonna fucking fight those Naga. There's only like 5 of them. Like, I want to use the bombard. I want to make use of the cool tool they've given me, but they're making it such an ordeal. This isn't where I meant to go. Loose masonry mars the southern wall of the gatehouse. Some of the protruding bricks look prominent enough to climb, yet the stonework feels slick with sleeve spray and slime moss. You estimate a difficult climb and a dangerous fall. Leave.
Say your prayers.
Oop. Mission accomplished. Nice stretch. Fascinating, fascinating. Oh. Hey, guy. An older man hunches over a work table, scribbling furiously by the light of a flickering lantern. His hair is oily, matted mess, and his cheeks are streaked with black. He looks up at you as you enter, shielding his eyes from the torchlight behind you.
Slave sphincter, those snakes were noisy. I don't suppose you brought any extra parchment with you?
He brushes a lock of greasy hair behind his ears. As he does, ink-stained fingers leave another mark on his cheek. What are you doing?
I'm writing it all down. My research, my work, something to survive before the next walk-in Colossus, the next Naga warband.
He blinks, his eyes wide and distant.
Do you need something? If not, I should focus. So much to do.
Zahira told me you had explosive shells for the bombard?
Just the one. Just the one. Someone came and took it. Oh, that was you.
He frowns, looking at the chest and scratching his head with the end of a quill. What happened here?
What didn't? A colossus made of Adra marched through the fort, grew bright like luminous, and scores of soldiers fell dead. Incredible.
His quill stops moving. His gaze grows distant.
Then the Naga killed everyone else. Except Latharn, I suppose. Yes, he must have left.
Chihiro survived, along with a few others.
They should split up. Safer that way. Better odds.
Latharn?
Dawnstar fellow. Arrived yesterday, last week. Complained of strange dreams. Smart of him to leave so soon.
He's gotta be acting on his dreams, trying to help our god.
I see.
You need something? If not, I should focus. So much to do.
How do I get to the lighthouse?
How indeed.
A high, anxious laugh tumbles out of him.
Naga everywhere. Suppose your best chance will be up along the walls, west and south. But how to get there?
He shakes his head.
Better perhaps to keep going south, around the edge of the fort. Through Fleet Master Ko's office. More cover from the Naga.
If there's survivors holed up by the docks, I can help you reach them. He waves a hand, already turning back to his notes.
Safety in numbers, eh? A comforting illusion. Let the others have it if they wish it.
He wipes his cheek, smearing more ink across it.
I must see that my work survives.
Farewell. Okay. So now I can use the fun cannon. Load the bombard. Carefully you ease the shell into the bombard. Aim the bombard at the cluster of Naga. I already did that. Consider your targeting ratchet the bombard. Well, looks like a reasonable angle, probably. Aim it. Aim it. Aim it. They really made this a two-part check, huh? He really didn't want me having fun here. Whatever. Fire it anyway. Light the fuse and plug your ears. Yeah. Boo.
Sorry, Fred. I can't.
Now it's a harder fight than if I hadn't done anything. Right.
I'll be more than half handy, or?
Moe, Ixie, on us. That was about as useful as a bump on a pickle.
Hey.
Okay. Okay. Where am I going? Oh, there's another fucking Naga. Gotta kill that. Get wrecked. Fine pistol, huh? Letter from Lathan. I know I've never been one for precision, but I'm telling you, some of these dreams couldn't tell you what they mean. Only they wake me 3 times a night. All of us working your farms have been having them. I've got no mind to tell you how to run your fort, but look out for my brother in here. We left our homes. Now we're seeing strange things, laboring next to a Duke's ransom in black powder. Do you reckon a dumb hick like me wouldn't notice? Okay. The lighthouse is quiet but soft, but for soft, sibilant whispers, there's a repetitive, incantory quality to them. Yet as you cross the threshold, an old Naga with skin cracked like cracked leather breaks off. He swivels to face you, bearing one broken fang.
The sea-striped fiends send you to uproot the tree of the gods, yes? Their blasphemy knows no bounds. Go! Carry a warning of what you have seen to the other shufflers.
His tongue whips from his mouth like a ripped streamer. What warning do you expect me to deliver?
That shufflers must not disturb these roots, or the gods will destroy the islands again.
You're saying the gods have brought ruin on Deadfire before? bares his broken fang in surprise.
Do your stories say nothing of the many disasters? Of the shuffler nests washed away like foam? Many generations ago, the sand-striped ones built great hives across the islands, and bastions around the Adra roots.
Sandstripe, you're describing the Huana.
Their ancestors, yes. Their meddling displeased the gods. So the gods smashed their works with heaving volcanoes and crashing waves.
His beads and bangles rattle as he brings his hands together in a loud clap. So you think history is repeating itself?
You shufflers are beasts of habit. You do not learn. You do not change. You cast off your sheddings by night, only to put them back on at daybreak. You wrap yourself in filthy, worn-out things.
A tremor of disgust ripples through his body.
Our ancestors hid deep, where the waters quenched the fires and muffled the storms. They remembered while shufflers scattered. Now, the shufflers build again.
He thumps his tail on the floorboards.
The gods see. They will tear them all down.
Barrett sent me. I'm here to do the will of the gods.
The shuffler's tongue is thick with blasphemy. Kill her now, Sukan.
The other Naga draws into a tight coil as if preparing to strike.
Perhaps not. I see Bereth's mark on this one.
He regards your head and his warped flesh. His tongue flickers.
If this is not some fat-tongued lie, then show us. Approach. Restore the blessing of the gods to the Adra.
Okay.
As your hand touches the dim Adra, you feel the same cool, pricking sensation that you did when you touched the pillar near Port Mage. You concentrate on the pillar. The world around you swiftly falls away, leaving only the vast emptiness of the in-between. The Adra and a multitude of golden threads undulating off into the distance. For a second time, you gather the threads in your mind and bind them together, forming a solid tether that ripples out toward its distant anchor. Again, a crack sounds from the terminus. Your consciousness is violently pulled along the cord. You are prepared for the sensation this time, but are still disoriented when you come to a sudden stop. You find yourself standing behind a familiar Titanic statue as it trudges through invisible waters. Standing at Aethys' shoulder, your soul is dwarfed by the massive god's form. Energy pulses along
he
the
big.
tether, each wave feeding the Adra's movements. He stops. His head cranes behind him, again accompanied by the sound of stone shearing and buckling. His eyes rest upon you. He does not reach for the cord, but considers you for a long span of silence before speaking.
Your first attempt to contact me was brave. This second attempt, is it born out of desperation or something else? Why do you continue to follow me, Watcher of Cadnua?
I want to know what you're doing.
Many Kith would like to know the gods' designs. Why is it so important to you?
Hell yeah. The last time you appeared, it heralded the death of thousands.
At first, he does not respond, but there is a wavering from the light within him. A momentary dimming that allows you to see the souls within the Adra clearly.
I never sought violence or death, but Margren and the Hand Occult have ensured that the world believes the madman Widewind tried to destroy the Deerwood
and everyone in it. In truth, a war was what I desired, but not one of violence. I sought a war of conscience.
Of course, of course.
If people saw that the ruins so faithfully guarded by the Glanfathans were nothing more than machines the Angwithans had used to turn themselves into gods, what could that mean?
Aethys becomes silent. You can sense his presence advancing back along the cord between you. His energy flows over your hand, tendrils of light probing into the air around you. They poke and prod at the silent lost souls hovering in your vicinity.
You are in a unique position. In spite of the work of the Leaden Key and Hand Occult, you have seen through our facade. You know the gods' true nature. Without the benefit of your knowledge, few mortals would be willing to accept the true history of their gods. After all, we weren't. The last time I walked Aora, I made a mistake in not revealing my true purpose. I believe you would understand it better than most.
Well, what are you waiting for? The gods want answers.
And after we are finished here, I'm certain they will call for you at the hour of their choosing. Won't they, Watcher? Yes, I will tell you. But this is not the time. As I take this body farther from the lighthouse, the tether grows weaker, and I have already tarried too long. Soon this link will unravel completely. If I have not reached my destination when that happens, I will need to pull more souls from your world.
Wait, is that what happened at Hasongo?
It is. When you contacted me from Port Mage, I had to sever my tether to the luminous Adra. Without it, I lacked the strength to reach Hasongo. I pulled souls from the creatures of the ocean and from the people at Hasongo until I could reach the lighthouse. The soldiers and Naga there were no threat to me. I did not kill them out of malice, but simply to keep this body moving.
A heartless, pitiless act.
It may be hard to believe, Watcher, but I have pity for every soul I've come across on this journey. Even yours.
The edges of Aethys's massive form blur and dissolve. The huge figure retreats from you. As it moves, the tether begins to rapidly unravel. As Aethys speaks, his voice sounds garbled, fragmented, and distant.
If you would know more, find me at the Ashen Maw in Margren's Teeth. I must rest there before I begin my final work. When I leave that place, you will not be able to follow. Before I go, I should return some of this to you. I still have need of the great power of your soul, but I can spare you this portion.
A pulse of energy moves back along the golden cord toward you. It feels familiar, comforting, even before it contacts you. Within the light, there is a dark core, roiling and violent, contrasting the warmth and brilliance of its outer shell.
I have seen the darkness in you, Watcher, but will not judge you for it. Never again. Take what is yours.
The energy washes over you, flooding you with feelings and memories you had thought long forgotten until they settle back into the cracks of your soul. And then the tether and cord snap, Aethys's figure evaporating into dust that mingles with the endless gray expanse. Heat rushes over you, and the uncomfortable sensation of the Adra Pillar's presence cuts off. The gloom of the in-between is pierced by the light of the living world. You are back in the lighthouse, no longer dim. The luminous Adra beside you is filled with warmth and light.
Of course. Yes. Vanaga stare at the glowing Audra, and their diamond pupils wild. Sugan turns his gaze to you, his body in a half-cautious coil.
Long have we kept peace with the sand-striped people. But then, the foreign ones came and spread. Killed our people. Built their hives everywhere. We were sure the Godwalker came to cast them out. That driving them away was a holy mission.
Gods have bigger concerns than our feuds. We must learn to live together.
But on whose terms?
His tail flicks in irritation.
We must go. I know not what this means, but our brethren should hear of it. You show us something new today, Shuffler. Thank you for this. And for your mercy.
Cool. Fuck that tonal. Okay.
If I'd known there were that many in the water.
That's a big footprint.
Love hugging big shiny rocks much as the next freebooter. But mayhaps you want to be explaining the whole insensate drooling bit, Captain.
I was rather hoping someone else would bring that up. If you got something to tell us.
You don't look like you're gonna be sick this time. So I take it that's a good sign?
Aethys is headed to a place called Magran's Teeth.
All the places he can go, and he chooses a spot named for Magran. What could he be thinking?
I'm ready to chase Gone if you are.
It's strange, feeling part of my soul in the body of a god. Shodi frowns thoughtfully.
Then we'll be charting a course for Magran's tits. Teeth. Apologies, force of habit. Onwards, Captain.
Is there no way up or around? Do I really gotta backtrack the whole way? Watchful dog approaches you, ears forward and head cocked.
Uh-oh. We got a ferocious beast watching us. And he looks like he's got a very itchy belly.
Beckon the dog to come with you. Takes a few steps forward and sniffs your hand, lowers his head, look under your fingers, and looks up at you expectantly. Scratch behind his ears. He closes his eye and raises his head, helping you find the right spot. After several seconds, he stands. Shakes himself off, ready to follow. continue to be sleepy. Yeah? On the rope. Cat. Okay, so that was a waste of a grappling hook. Good to know. Free cat, free cat, free cat. So... we're in Hasongo. That's where we are. Is there a way I can leave this place? Find survivors? Because I want to help a deer find his maybe son. No, minus 14 daily wages. I'm gonna go bankrupt. Lol.
Scale-bellied cowards! I knew they'd run! Look at our beacon. Even the Colossus couldn't destroy it. And those snakes aren't so tough now, are they?
Given all that's happened here, you sound extremely confident.
The lighthouse shines again. We survived. It's proof that our people can conquer anything. That our works can survive even here.
She finally turns to you with a broad, triumphant smile.
The Hansanui will want to thank you personally for your help here. And she should also know what we're up against.
She eyes the Dawn Stars and the crater's footprint. Where can I find the Hansanui?
She's usually at the Brass Citadel in Nekataka. Though she gets called to the palace often, haggling with the Queen and the Valians.
Actually, I'm headed to Magran's Teeth.
Looking for a real challenge after what you did to those scale bellies?
She laughs, a brittle edge creeping back into her voice.
The only thing I know about the place is it's supposedly made of fire.
Oh.
No one's ever come back from it.
She swallows, making hollows of her eyes.
But anything can be overcome.
She smiles grimly.
Clear skies.
Light of Aethys be upon you, neighbor. Are you looking for survivors?
Unlike the other survivors you've seen, this young man, despite a haggard look and a set of dirt-smeared, tattered clothing, wears a calm face and speaks with a steady voice. Yes, actually, my friend is looking for someone who we were told might live around here.
A short lady, about my age, came from Deerwood with her son. Let's see. Freckles, braids, usually. Punches you in the arm if she likes you, face if not. Oh, and that's if you're lucky.
No, that doesn't sound like anyone.
Young man's face remains smooth, betraying neither surprise nor interest. We're in the right place. You must know her. She has a son about your age.
You gotta be her son. Got her nose and her freckles. You don't have to lie to me, kid. I'm a friend of your mother's. She hiding from someone? Maybe an ex-lover who gave her the best night of her life?
You're protecting her. We understand.
No, I misspoke.
Forget it. Just tell me something. Your father, you know him?
I'm sorry, who are you?
Like Adir said, we're friends of your mother's.
Right, friends of Alava's.
No hint of emotion registers on the boy's face.
Yes, I knew my father when I was very young. He was a man of strong faith.
Have to be. You get Alava mad, you need a god on your side for protection.
He was lost to us during the purges, which was how we came to flee here.
So you met him?
Beard nods slowly.
Well, that's great. You had a dad.
A moment passes with the deer staring at Baron, with a strange undulating grimace drawn back across his face. He clears his throat.
Where's your mother now? Got a lot of catching up to do.
My mother is with Aethys.
There's a trace of a smile that seems to come with the last word. Adir appears confused. Meaning she's dead. Why are these the options? Meaning what exactly?
She passed the veil a few years ago. A flu.
Adir's jaw slackens.
It's possible her soul has taken a new body by now. But if she was truly blessed, she marches instead beside the shining god.
Boy's hinted smile brightens, his eyes far away. Adir's face has gone scarlet beneath his farmer's tan. His nostrils pulsate with each heavy breath.
You lied to us. Said you didn't know her. Expect me to believe this now?
He takes a short step toward Baron, who takes two backwards. Easy, he lost his mother.
Funny, you wouldn't know it to look at him.
Boy stares down. Adir stares the boy down, then turns away with a grunt and a not worth it gesture.
I'm not lying. She's buried on the other side of that hill.
He points northward.
How could she be gone?
Don't be troubled by her passing. All souls that march with Aethys receive his warmth and light.
Dear scowls. What do you mean, march with Aethys?
Aethys has come to us twice now. Even Oblivion couldn't slow his march. We shouldn't have opposed his first coming. He meant to rally us under his banner.
Oh, I know a lot of Dead Deer Woodens who will be relieved to hear that.
We were victims of quarrel of gods.
And seeing what we've seen, it's hard to believe they got our best interests at heart.
Aethys forced everyone to declare themselves as ally or enemy, nothing more. Now he marches again, and we have a chance to correct our mistake.
Well, that's charitable.
I would like to have joined him when he passed this way, but I was weak. It won't happen again.
You seem confident in a god who's causing a lot of destruction.
You can't build on broken foundations. Real change needs destruction. I trust my God knows better than I do. He knows truths I'll never learn.
And got that right.
I was once lost. I struggled as you do now. But the partisans of the lighted path have restored my faith in Aethys.
This Adir looks up at Byrne.
What greater honor than to march in his vanguard?
Who are the partisans of the lighted path?
We began as children of the Dawnstars, separated from each other as we questioned our purpose. But then Aethys granted a vision to Gadarian Bosch. Bosch saw an illuminated path lighten the way through a black abyss.
The words fall from his mouth bulky and awkward, as though someone else has stuffed them in there.
And he saw Aethys marching on the path, and Aethys bade him to march alongside.
Not quite how I've been seeing it, but everyone's open to their own interpretations.
A faint trace of a smile forms on Adir's lips.
And the Shining God told Gadarian Bosch to gather an army of the god's truest followers, and to prepare to lead it into battle.
You'd think after getting blown up, he'd slow down on the battling.
Who does Aethys intend to battle?
We don't know. The end of the path hasn't been revealed to Gadarian Bosch yet. But to the faithful, shouldn't matter.
How will you join him when he marches beneath the sea?
It'll be a great journey, but we're prepared. Gadarian Bosch knows the way.
Adir, did you get what you needed here? Adir takes a deep breath and looks around, then at Baron. He nods, tight-lipped.
We can go.
We'll be going.
Hey, kid. What was your name again?
Baron.
Right. This lighted path fellow, Bosch. Sounds interesting. There's some way I can meet him?
He's usually on the move, rallying followers. But the partisans of the lighted path often gather in the Temple of Aethys in Neketaka. I seem to go there myself, in fact. There's an adherent there, Ogna, who initiates new partisans. No doubt she'd be pleased to help you. Aethys needs able soldiers, even in their elder years.
Adir spits.
You should consider what Ogna has to say. It might speak to you. Farewell.
Well, rip and F. But that's all we came here for. Sungo is a mound of wreckage on the horizon when you see a dozen junks sailing toward you. Even at this distance, you can tell they are making good speed. One of the ships pulls up alongside yours. A well-dressed Omaha man approaches the edge of the deck. You recognize the stirrer, the Grand Secretary of the Royal Deadfire Company. It's good to see you again. I see you are continuing to leave your mark. He's gazing toward Asanga with a peculiar smile. The Adra beacon, visible even here, shines brightly. Though it surprises me you are still a stranger to many in Nekataka, I suspect that will soon change. What's this about? I want to extend the thanks of the Royal Deadfire Company for what you've done here. Raises his hand toward the Adra beacon. You've restored a valuable asset, whether that or not that was your intention. Gives you a quick, sly smile. There's no doubt the others at the palace will want to hear this, no doubt. And you may as well take credit while the deed is fresh. I need to read Ashen Maw and Magran's Teeth. Still a cold wind is blowing over the deck. At the mention of Magran's Teeth, the Rauatine sailors stare at you in shock and horror. Those who are not frozen with their mouths agape are whispering fearfully among themselves. A stir silences them with an unreadable glance. He turns back to you with a brittle smile that does not reach his eyes. Forgive my compatriots. Magran's Teeth is a volcanic chain along the northeastern edge of Deadfire. It is also among the most treacherous places in the archipelago. He casts a glance back at the ancient sailors. The waters around it are patrolled by giants said to be born of Magran's own volcanoes. Even our well-armed ships do not venture there. He tilts his head in apology. But I suspect Queen Onikaza could direct you to the Ashen Maw, if you're set on going there. All the more reason to visit her palace. He smiles cryptically. Go to the Serpent's Crown in Nekataka, and later come see me at the Brass Citadel. We can discuss your progress and issues of mutual interest there. He nods. At any rate, I have much to attend to, and it seems you do as well. Clear skies, Captain Absentia. Astura nods and as his crew makes ready to sail once more. Okay, good. So I didn't have to fight like 17 boats at once. Do have to fight this one. I like their flag. Naval combat. Find beats to the windward. Attack in port. Your ship is faster and your crew's better prepared. Secure the wind gauge before they have the opportunity to claim it for themselves. Turn to port. Continue. Enemy, go to their stations. Gain wind advantage. Fire cannons. Oh, they have more cannons than me. Wait, did they not do anything? What does that mean? Thunder King anchors across the sea. Full speed ahead. Okay. They do nothing again. Uh-oh. They fire. I don't like that. I wish they hadn't. Fire! My first ship-to-ship combat went so much better. I just exploded them in one round. Sailors climbed the rigging like spiders and let loose the sails. Prepare to jibe. Wind has died. Fire port cannons. Why are they so bad? Whatever. Continue. Shit, they fired at me. You're not allowed to do that. Uh-oh. Should have just boarded them. Fire. Oh, damn it. He's got a broken bone from getting hit by a cannon. Okay, whatever. Charge. Ship-to-ship combat fucking sucks. Oh wow, that's a lot of them.
It's beyond me. Oh, good.
How many times do you have to watch your allies get, like, turned into meat before you think, hey, maybe we've lost this? Share coins with crew. Okay. Kind of want to do the pirate stuff, even though the pirates are very mad at me. Ditto points out of the ship. Galleon captain, 3 master, or it was, naught remains of the ship's foremast save a splintered stump, and the bowsprit has been sheared off. See how they crippled her? That's the work of pirates. Prince should be most likely, and probably the upstarts if they're raiding this close to Valiant patrol routes. Shields are Delia leans. They'll have taken any gold, but they might have left surprise. Reed's brown and stamped with sweat. We shouldn't stick around. If Valiant see us plundering one of their ships, they won't give us a chance to explain. Let's continue our course. Colorful parrot. Around its leg. A missive bound to its leg bears the sigil of the Kahunga tribe. Mahunga hosts the savior of Sango in the Kahunga Palace. Nekataka is a city for the Wana and outsiders alike. There's no shortage of work for Kith who are determined to be useful as you. Should you have the stamina for a good climb, the palace atop the surface ground would be second home. Think on it.
You blink and find yourself standing in the knee-high grass of an endless field, with the day just falling into dusk.
Uh-huh.
Then, the earth falls away. The wind ceases, and you are sent tumbling up into the dark of the sky.
As happens.
The voice of the Pallid Knight shakes the earth at your feet. You have returned to Bareth's realm. Your soul once more called to attend the wishes of the God of Death.
Bow.
Once again, you have spoken with the Child of Light. Tell me what you have learned.
He makes for Magrand's teeth.
Intriguing.
The Pallid Knight stares past you, pensive.
While attend. Tell me what your many eyes perceive.
Her words ring out, and a heavy silence descends. In the silence breaks the murmur of countless voices. They speak all at once in languages both known and unknown to you.
I like this guy.
In the space beside Bareth, an eye blinks open, followed fast by several more. They are round, keen eyes of Kith, the slit eyes of snakes, the small, dark marbles of birds, the bulbous lanterns of deep-sea fish.
Here we are.
A figure walks through the cloud of eyes as one might step through a door. It is an Orlan, then a pale elf, an ocean human, a Naga, each of them eyeless. They are Wal.
Okay.
This is the first interesting thing to happen in ages. And we do so love a riddle.
The figure wears an Amawa's grin, and the many voices beneath its own titter.
Yes, it's so interesting when hundreds of Kith die so Aethys can take a stroll.
Some things must be lost to be found again. You knew that once, when you buried my scroll beneath the earth in Black Meadow. But it seems you have forgotten.
I did do that.
We have read the book of your life, Watcher. It is heavy with the weight of your choices, and its pages are not unmarred by the blood of others. You reap, but on a smaller scale. We see between the strings of the world, and Aethys is there, strumming them like a lute. His tongue is still, yet he sings of a coming joy. What tune he plays, we do not know. It is complex, ever-shifting. One moment vibrating in harmony, the next in discord.
A man strides through the door to Bareth's realm. Behind him lope wolves with lolling tongues, and jungle cats whose long tails twitch with every step. Galawain, the changeling, arrives, and he brings with him the wild heart of Aora's untamed places. Fast on Galawain's heels, a small wave of seawater washes across the tiles. It pours off the edge of the platform and cascades down into the beyond. From out of the water rears a glowing lure, then the head of a gigantic fish. The round black eyes of Andra roll to meet yours.
Uh-huh.
Aethys is nothing if not resourceful. I admire his nerve.
In the changeling's voice, you hear the soft patter of rain on leaves and the rush of wind through treetops.
Aren't you worried?
No. He is a creature of the pack, left long alone. Without our strength behind him, he is weak. If his journey leads him back to us, he has proved himself worthy of return to the fold.
Aethys does not return to us. He returns to execute some grand plan. We must stop him.
Andra's voice rises like a tide, panic riding its crest. The doors lining the walls of Bareth's realm slam open in unison. Warped pieces of ancient armor and the remnants of discarded weapons roar through the doorways. They meet in the center of the room, in a shower of sparks, and form the vague figure of a man. Finally, a blacksmith's sledge hurtles past your shoulder, and the figure snatches it from the air. A man made half of metal and half of ruined skin stands before you. The rounded metal of a well-worn shield makes up most of his skull, his right eye socket, and jaw. His mouth is pulled forever into a half grimace.
Okay.
If Aethys has something foolish planned, perhaps we can turn him from that path and set him down a more productive one.
Abaddon's words crash and screech together, like long still gears forced to movement for the first time in centuries.
Okay.
Abaddon speaks with a child's naivety.
See nothing.
He violates not their realms, but mine. I feel his urgency in every stamp of his feet along my spine. I will send tsunamis to slow him, if Mogren would stir the earth beneath Mogren's teeth.
The water at your feet recedes. Lava oozes up through the shallow water, and a woman made from the guts of the earth emerges. She settles her characteristic broadsword on her shoulder, and sighs a cloud of smoke and ash. Mogren returns.
In the age when our steps carved valleys across the face of Aora, our bodies were impervious to all but the strongest attacks. I doubt fire and water will be enough to stop him. But I will bear down upon Aethys with all the heat and fury of the earth. If I must.
Thousands of Kith will die.
The death of thousands now could prevent the death of millions later.
But you don't know if you'll save millions. You might just kill thousands for nothing.
Dark, inky tears fall from Andra's eyes.
Sacrifices of the few protect the futures of the many. You cannot let your petty, mortal feelings blind you to the urgency of the dilemma Aethys has thrust upon us.
Funny how it's always Kith that makes sacrifices, not you.
You will mind upon whose ground you tread.
The Pallid Knight watches you with keen, predatory eyes. The deep, bellowing cry of an aurochs shakes the ground beneath your feet. The cry drones on and on, a moan without end. Wal's many eyes squeeze shut. Andra slips back beneath her waves. Mogren dissipates in a swirling cloud of steam. Galawain's beasts cower and whine. Only the Pallid Knight stands impassive.
My end comes to all things in time. Should Aethys care to hasten the inevitable, I welcome his efforts.
What could he possibly gain by destroying Aora?
Aethys seeks a slate wiped clean. Freedom from the endless revolutions of Barath's wheel. The final emancipation of the countless stolen mortal lives the gods hoard within themselves.
The Child of Light will not choose the hour of my death.
Mogren tests the edge of her broadsword with a smoldering finger.
He sows chaos in his longing for a radiant dawn. So much will be lost in the cacophony of fear his actions inspire.
The crack of thunder rends the air. The gods fall silent.
We can wait no longer to act. Speak with him, Watcher. Discover what it is he plans.
I'll do my best.
Water begins to creep across the floor. It swells, runs swiftly, and catches at your ankles. You scrabble at the tiles, but it's no use. The current's pull drags you off the edge of Bareth's realm, and into the fathomless beyond. You splash down in water so dark you can't see the bottom. Then, the water recedes, gone like a dream upon waking. The hard wood of your cabin's floor presses against your spine. The gods are gone, but you remain.
All right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, all right. Hey, Shodi, you got any stuff to say?
Tell me what's on your mind.
Thought culturally, read Saren's only enter into pairings that can produce viable offspring.
Yeah, and your point is?
Clearly this doesn't concern you.
It does, but not how you think. I'm stubborn, yeah, but I'm not entirely ignorant.
She rubs her nose with dry skin, and Muddy Knuckles.
Long term, you're right. Mama expected me to grow into a God-fearing bringer of the light who'd raise enough farmhands to run the family homestead. But that's not who I am. And I can't say whether it's who I'll ever want to be. I am a reaper of gone. My purpose isn't to farm, it's to shepherd the souls of the dead.
Welcome! How goes? Thank you for the raid.
Now, you might think I can do both. Maybe someday I will. Or maybe I won't ever. But that's for me and my God to decide. I just think, why's it gotta matter until then?
Fair enough, Shodi. One sec. Let me get you a shout out. That worked this time? Yeah! Ooh, Cult of the Lamb! Hell yeah, that's good shit. I'm playing that on Thursdays. I'm not very good at it, but it's fun, and I haven't lost a cultist yet.
Sure thing, Watcher.
Yeah, it is actively hard for me to not play it off stream. Like, I'm saving it for stream, but like anytime I see it in my Steam library, I'm like, I could play just a little bit. No one would notice. But no, I must hold strong. I'm assuming you've been doing the Twitch integration stuff. It's weird, but I do really like the way that they do the Twitch integration.
Oh, you
It's
hungry, little
cool.
fella? Want some honey?
Did you catch the new play by the Peg Leg performers yet? It's awful.
The Green Menace? That
Send
I
me for a
did.
buttered slice of
Made me
hardtack.
wanna poke out
It's you, ain't it?
Hell squints at you and puffs up her pipe. Acrid smoke from the bowl wreaths your face. Absentia, Captain of the Divine, at your service.
Hang me by the thumbs. At your service, she says.
Well, that's rude.
I'll keep it quick, see? If your little dinghy has got some chase in it, I've got a list of captains with a black mark to their name whose ships need a quick scuttling. And I'm in the market for a scuttler.
The worst thing that Twitch chat did to me was make all of my followers vomit and poop at the same time. Which was really annoying because it was while they were sleeping, which made it really a pain to clean up.
Oh. Okay, not in real life. I thought you were just being very dramatic.
No, not in real life. In Cult of the Lamb. Offering me a bounty. Where do I start?
You read me like a book, you do. Then let's talk business, eh? You'll be looking to scuttle Cornu first, one of Rawatai's finest, eh? I don't ask my client what he did or what scale his death balance is. Safer to keep questions in the hold.
I'll take the bounty.
Of course you will. Knows a good opportunity when you seize it. Cornu helms a Voyager early muster in the waters north of Nakataka and south of Sayuka.
Farewell. Okay. Neglected pig! Free pig, free pig, free pig. Alright, well, thanks for the raid, thanks for stopping by, thanks for the lurk. Large amount of sailor sits on the docks, broad-shouldered, hunched forward, back bowed. When he shifts, blue-green skin ripples over his hulking muscles.
Ain't no cruel eye of me. What good's a pirate who can't see? Forget navigating by the stars or shooting a pistol. I can't even swing a sword accurately now. Have a pity and toss me a pyre, will you?
Here you go.
Andra's blessings to you for sharing, sailor.
What's your story?
Is this what my life boils down to? A moment of entertainment for others?
He sighs heavily, big shoulders hunched.
I was a bosun not so long ago, and a damn good one at that. But I took a shot to the face, see?
He waves one massive hand in front of his sightless eyes.
Didn't lose much skin, but the flash burned out me eyesight. I can't make out so much as a blurry shape more than a foot away. Makes me right useless on a crew now, don't it? No one'll have me for work.
Ripperoo, dude. That sucks. Hey, Aloth, what do you
terrible
want?
things are at work. And once again, you seem to be in the middle of it.
Aloth is twisting on the edge of his sash between his hands, a purposeful frown on his face.
The Rauataians we passed will doubtless spread word of what you've done in Hasongo. But others will want to know what you've seen. They'll look to you for answers.
He watched you uncertainly, his brow furrowed. Tell them what they need to hear.
You make it sound so simple.
He spreads his cheeks. He spreads his hands in exasperation.
Don't you worry what will come next? What events
I can
you might
fucking
move
read. Why am I so bad at this? Why am I so bad at reading? What is this really about, Aloth? He sighs through his nose, his lips pressed together.
It reminds me of the question that drew me to the Deadfire. The one I've been avoiding.
He rubs the back of his neck.
I promised to tell you what I was doing among the Animancers at Port Marge.
You did, and then I forgot.
As you may have guessed, I was observing them. Gathering information on the various Animancy operations in the region.
What for?
Animancy is a subject of particular interest to the Leaden Key. Through it, I hope to pick up the trail.
A spark of pleasure gleams in his eye. And then?
That's where it gets complicated.
He purses his lips.
After that incident in Old Valia, I thought more about the Leaden Key and its particular composition.
Go on.
It's existed for over 2,000 years. Say what you will about its motives and methods, but that's an impressive tenure.
He clasps his hands behind his back and begins pacing.
I hope you got a while, because I got lots to say about their motives and methods.
Relax, Adair. I'm not defending them.
He turns back to you.
That's when I realized how short-sighted I'd been. To think I could undo the Leaden Key without understanding how it works.
The faint trace of a smile forms on Adir's lips. How the Leaden Key works? How would you learn about that?
By studying its origins, of course.
He pauses long enough to show you a triumphant flash of teeth.
Fight and spur the lad. I found references to an ancient Leaden Key cabal in the Deadfire. Possibly one of the oldest, if accounts are credible. And they appear to have been working independently, without direct intervention from Theos, for almost 2 millennia.
Damn. He watches you eagerly, waiting for that to sink in. You think that by observing them you can learn how the Leaden Key works?
And how to destroy it, yes.
Adir gives a nod and a wink.
Most sources refer to them as the Painted Masks. But I haven't met anyone here who knows that name.
The Wahaki of Oriokoiki paint their faces.
Truly? Then perhaps we'll find something there.
Hope sparks in his eyes, in his blue eyes as he looks at you. We'll go.
Thank you.
He smiles warmly, but there's a hint of trepidation in his expression.
Anyway, it's late. I suppose that's enough from me.
I shall.
Alright. Hello? A trim man in practical, well-crafted leathers watches you from the corner of his eyes. When he catches you looking his way, his hand drifts casually to the dagger at his hip and lingers for a moment. Then he smiles, the corner of his hazel eyes crinkling with genuine warmth, and waves you over.
Take cozy, traveler. Care to hear a tale?
He rubs thoughtfully at the stubble along his jaw.
Well,
tell me about yourself.
I was born to a family of merchants on the Pearl Coast. I was a restless boy, and my feet took me to the Valen Republics when I came of age.
Okay. As Carlos speaks, his previously strong Valian accent begins to drift away, and his voice takes on the characteristic twang of the deerwood.
I learned of the power of geography and language at my father's knee, and those skills proved useful in the Republics. I had many successful years as a merchant, and then I made a mistake.
Go on. Gives you a small smile and an easy shrug of his shoulders.
I joined up with a company based in Girara that traded in beautiful weavings. But they were ill-gotten gains, forcibly produced by a weaver the company kidnapped named Bonicetta. I didn't learn the truth until it was too late. And when our crime was uncovered, I was exiled from the Republics.
That's a shame.
Indeed. But I should have asked better questions of my employers. And now I'm here, kicking my heels in the Deadfire, where no one knows my name and with few prospects before me. I would like to make amends to Bonicetta personally, but it seems a distant possibility. Ah, well. I learned my lesson. I won't be played for a fool again.
Can you teach me what you learned in the Valian Republics?
Ark, you listened to my tale. I suppose I can do that for you for 3,000 copper.
Oh boy. Sure.
Well done.
Shows you a trick for lifting a man's coin purse from his belt. Between demonstrations, he also gives you tips for negotiating with even the most hard-headed merchants. You thank him and turn away. Just as you're about to leave, he tosses you a coin purse to you with a laugh.
You nearly forgot something.
The coin purse he tossed to you is your own. Find a woman of middle years dressed fine, if dirty, armor adorned with bright purple piping. A pair of long scars bisect her brow and jaw. Though she stands at ease, energy thrums around her.
Fair day, traveler.
She grins broadly, a joyful twinkle lighting her eyes.
Anything I can do for you, just say the word.
Tell me about yourself.
Lady adventurer at your humble service. I was born in a deer and raised in the field, and there's nary a crevice of this archipelago I haven't seen.
The field?
Aye, the living lands most off, but the Deadfire as well of late. And my goodness, if you think the Deadfire's wild, I must say, it's no more thrilling than a Lady of Luxury's afternoon luncheon, in comparison to the glorious madness of the living lands. Being a cipher's come in quite handy, I'll tell you that.
Do you often get in trouble then?
Oh, dear me, yes. Can't seem to avoid it. Not a lick of it's my fault, of course. It's the university. Always sending me to the most dangerous corners of Aora, the skimps. If I didn't know better, I might say they were trying to kill me. There's not other way to rid themselves of a tenured professor, after all.
She laughs. Get any good stories out of it, at least?
Oh, aye. Some you wouldn't right believe. Like the time I lost part of my ear here, see?
She pulls back her hair and shows you her mangled ear. It looks like someone had a good chew on it.
Lost an entire research team along with the ear. Rather a long day, that was. My colleagues have implied I might be cursed, but I can't say I much agree. It's just the nature of the work, you understand. I mean, goodness, if you want a lady to find you the rarest plants, you gotta send her to the most remote places. On my last expedition, my colleague Inez got herself lost looking for what was essentially a big prickly weed. No medicinal use at all. I found her, though, mostly intact even. A blessing from the living lands, I call it, aye. But I do go on, don't I?
She laughs gaily, a hand splayed across her chest. Could you teach me what you learned in your time exploring the living lands?
With pleasure. Teaching is my specialty, after all. I'm gonna pack your brain with so much knowledge, you're gonna have a headache for a week. All I need from you is 3,000 copper.
Here you are.
Let's get down to business, shall we?
She starts first with the practical training, how to move silently through bush, when and how best to hide, how to step so as to muffle the sounds of your feet. Satisfied, she moves on to a high-level explanation of various theories of knowledge, seems to have quite a passion for epistemology, and goes on for an excruciatingly long time before sending you on your way. Okay. Cool. Stray cat. Everyone loves a free cat. Everyone loves to get a free cat. Okay, how big is this place? Not terribly huge. The fuck?
Wait an hour, then pull any gold teeth. Easy as pie.
You're an idiot. Wait a minute, wait an hour. Alive, dead, it makes no difference at all.
I've pulled plenty of gold teeth. I know the right way of it.
Maybe I'll pull your teeth just to prove you wrong.
What do you know? It really does make no difference. You.
Fuck, dude.
Out.
Probably just insecure.
Okay, trap detected. Good to know. At the bar, you find a tall man with salt gray hair and striking blue eyes. His face sports a handful of long scars that continue down his neck and disappear beneath the collar of his shirt. He looks up from wiping the counter when you approach and gives you a broad, disarming smile.
Haven't seen you around before. Welcome to the King's Coffin.
His smile is wide enough to show his bright white teeth, but his eyes remain cold and flinty.
What can I do for you?
I want to buy something.
What do you want?
I'd like to rent a room.
How heavy's your coin purse?
Let's go with that one. Fancy one. And then we should rest it in real life. 'Cause I'm very sleepy. And this feels like a decent place to call it. So thank you for watching, y'all. I love you very much. I'll see you next time. Remember, Black Lives Matter, defund the police. Bye-bye.